Hey, yo, the real thing about Adrian Broner and Dean the Great is that these guys are very strategic. What I notice is that everybody is, criticizing, being real negative, amongst obviously four division world champion Adrian the Problem Broner. Um, Understandably, man, these guys have a plan of action. They're not just doing things just to be doing things. I know from the lens and the perspective of an average Joe, that only kind of looks from the outside in like it's some type of TV show. Um, you may see it like these guys are fighting, taking things personal, um, have no direction. These guys know what they doing. They know exactly what they doing, right? And it don't mean that they even got to be friends. It's business. And a lot of you guys don't really understand that. When Charleston White got on there and started talking negatively about Adrian Broner, and it's like with Charleston White, no one was talking about him, and he found a way to squeeze in a little hole, to try to become relevant by putting by what? By using Adrian Broner's name. Because as you know, Charleston White, he goes on the culture vulture sites like Adam 22 and Vlad TV and stuff like that, and he needs some type of relevance, So he even, like I said, he goes on the culture vulture shows in order to get that. So he talks about Adrian Broner, as if Adrian Broner is, completely out of control, and like it's, you speaking to him as if he's like a kid or something. Like the dude is a grown man. You know, is he doing things in a perspective of like a role model and stuff like that? No, but it's a part of business. It's a part of what he came to do on the stream. That's his personality, and that's why they're being so successful at what they're doing, is because that's naturally, the type of things that he's always done. If you followed Adrian Broner since the very beginning, like I have as a real boxing fan, I can tell you right now, that's always from the lens of a boxing fan. That's always how he's been. Everybody keeps getting on here and talking about, oh, well, Adrian Broner is drunk and Adrian Broner is gonna break down, and I feel sorry for Adrian Broner. Let me send him a message. For what? He knows exactly what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, these two are very strategic. Shout out to them, because, they found a way to put a massive plan of action together in order to be able to benefit, from an audience. And if you have that gift in order to attract the audience, then you might as well use it. That's why 199% of people are on YouTube, because they want to be able to attract the audience and be beneficial in some type of way in order to receive compensation. I mean, if you sit in here on YouTube and you say that's not true, get the fuck out of here, because that's true. If you're doing lives, if you're doing YouTube, everybody's here to attract the audience and to be able to at some point be for it to be beneficial to their lives, whether it's monetary or whether it's just having an audience in general, right? And we just got to keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? That's what these guys are doing. So I don't really understand where all these people come out the woodworks talking about, you know, um about what's going to happen to them, and them getting, banned. And look, it's a part of the game. It's a part of the game, and I genuinely believe people are jealous. They're envious of Adrian Broner. They're jealous, regardless on how you think he, acts, or what changes you want to make in another man or another woman. That's how they get their bag. If they're not assaulting anybody, you know, to a point where it's real. I mean, I'm not talking about that shit that you guys see on all that shit is staged, bro. It's just like the WWE. It's just like the WWE. Let's keep it a buck, man. So, all the extra criticism, why not, congratulate guys for for the type of plan that they put together. Because these guys are just not going out here and just doing anything. They know step by step who they're gonna collab with, how they're gonna get down, you know, during the night, and then during the night they have a strategic plan. Hey, look, we gonna break up. This gonna be our end of our friendship. And what does that do? That brings you guys in a lot more because you want to see, oh well, if this is the end of their friendship, I was right. I knew they were gonna break up, right? That's how you guys think. So then what happens is it draws you in closer. So when they get back together, oh man, there's thousands of more people. Think about it, man. The reason why you guys are so subjective to these type of programs and audiences is because you could be very small-minded at times. You know what I mean? Like it won't be easy. It's easy to get people to look at certain things because you're just easy. You know what I mean? Like, but this video was basically to talk about and just congratulate them guys. Adrien Broner and Deen the Great, and they are also putting other people into their collaborations, and that's building other streamers, right? Like Larry Wills. Larry Wills is a bodybuilder, right? He's a bodybuilder who built his success in bodybuilding, a handful of years ago. Bodybuilding is not popular no more. No one cares about bodybuilding at all. 0%. Things change, trends change, and Larry Wills came over, slapped Deen the Great. You guys loved it, and now Larry Wills got thousands of people watching his stream because you guys love the fact that he slapped another guy, right? So it just draw man. I'm telling you, man, these guys know what they're doing. This is not just oh, let me just go out and just do random shit. This is not random shit. It's programming. And it's just like you watching your Netflix shows, your reality shows, all staged, man. I mean, I hope I'm not busting nobody's bubble. Like you guys really like 100% believe that everything that go on, step by step is fake. I mean, is real. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I grew up watching the WWF, man. I knew a lot of things were, as a kid, I knew a lot of things didn't really transpire like I thought it would. So it was parts of me that was like, all right, some of this shit is real, and then some of this shit is like, man, they really good at what they do when it comes to acting, right? So that enabled me to actually be able to step out of the WWF and move on, with other things in my life on a visual basis because I realized that a lot of what they were doing was staged acting, right? And then you got the guys that stayed, from my age, they stayed and watched WWF all the way through because they never believed that the shit was fake. Like psychology wise, man, you have to fine tune your brain. Like it really takes over your mind. You think because you watch something all the time that is absolutely real, and it's not. You know. So like I said, I give I shout outs to those guys because to be able to attract an audience and attention at the levels that they have is astronomical, man. And like I said, kudos to those guys. But we're gonna cut this video short now, man. I appreciate you guys taking a listen, man. Like I said, don't take these streams to heart because it's just very, very good stage play, man. And like I said, these guys are doing great. From Adrien Broner to Deen to Larry Wills. You have pre-streamers like DDG, like those guys that were already in the mix a long time ago. Kudos to those guys, man. Sometimes you just gotta congratulate people, man, and not be hating and not be, throwing shade every 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. St. Nicholas brand. Until next time, peace.